Sup guys, I just wanted to come on here and give sort of a bit of a brain dump about my thoughts about what could be up for the lightweight division in 2026. Because I think as always, it's shaping up to be probably the most entertaining division in the sport, though welterweight's been giving it a run for its money as of recent. Now, Ilia Topuria has recently come out and made a statement regarding his personal life and stated that he intends on stepping away from fighting for a little while until it is. So this information isn't new information, right? Like, we were giving this information as justification as to why it was going to be an interim title fight between Paddy and Justin Gaethje. So, for the purposes of this video, I am going to explore the scenarios that could take place in the timeline where Ilia Topuria is stripped, he vacates probably the title for the entirety of 2026. In the event that perhaps, this situation gets super drawn out, which it very well could do, and he's just going to be completely out of the picture entirely for the year. So obviously, Ilia not being able to come back and unify his belt, around the middle of the year, will change the landscape massively at lightweight. In the event that we get close to that title fight, that interim, at the moment, title fight in February, and it hasn't been upgraded to undisputed, I'll revisit sort of this breakdown predictions video and make some new ones. But I think it'll be fun for the sake of this video if we just look at the timeline where Ilia Topuria is vacates and February's fight gets updated to undisputed. I believe, the UFC would probably want to do this as well if Ilia's going to be out for a while, because, it's better to have an undisputed title as the main event than interim. Anyway, so I believe the biggest winner in this scenario would be Arman Tsarukyan. He already should have been in the interim title fight, and now with Ilia out of the picture for the year, it clears him up to get the next crack at the winner of Paddy versus Justin. That is assuming Justin wants to hang around and defend, which I assume he would if he does win, because that would make him the only American champ with the White House card coming up. And I believe he's a bit of a fan of Trump, so it would make sense that he would jump at the idea of headlining that card. So I believe the winner of Paddy versus Justin will defend against Arman Tsarukyan at some point in the middle of the year, whether that's White House, International Fight Week, that sort of June-July period. Now, who's next after that? We have Max Holloway versus Charles Oliveira. I believe if Max Holloway wins, he not only deserves the next crack after Arman, but he'll get it. So if Max wins, I believe it's Max. If Charles Oliveira wins, I think the division will probably just get chucked on ice after Arman has his shot, and they'll probably just wait for Ilia Topuria's return. And what they'll do is, I think they'll say Charles needs one more. And they can do that by simply getting him to defend his BMF belt. Now, you may have noticed that Max Holloway is missing from the thumbnail, which is a bit harsh. Dan Hooker getting his spot. But that's because I believe that if Dan Hooker can get the jump on Benoit Saint-Denis, that he's a bigger player in lightweight for 2026 than people are giving him credit for. Because in the world where Charles Oliveira wins and Dan Hooker beats Benoit Saint-Denis, I believe we will see that as a BMF title fight in the second half of 2026. I know that's a lot of ifs. There's probably about a 15% chance of that happening, especially Dan having to get past BSD. But yeah, I think that would be awesome. I believe Dan is the most worthy fighter in that kind of lightweight space that has yet to fight for the BMF title, especially if he can get a win over BSD and sort of prove he's still a top player in that division. Yeah, and I know, just as an extra fuck it prediction, if Benoit Saint-Denis wins, I think the timelines would match up for him to fight the winner of Houfi, however you say it, versus Fiziev. By the way, how the fuck is Ruffy, whatever the fuck, ranked 14th? I think that's a bit generous for him at this stage based off who he's beaten. But anyway, those are my thoughts. That's what I think will be next for the lightweight division in 2026 in the event that Ilia Topuria vacates his belt. If Ilia doesn't vacate, I believe we see things, Paddy fights Justin for the interim, and that gets unified around the middle of the year. But if Ilia doesn't think he's going to be ready to go by the middle of the year, do not be surprised if he vacates. That's my thoughts. Let me know what you think. As always, thank you for watching. I think we got 6 subscribers now, which, again, probably sounds like I'm begging for it, but I'm not. Like, I actually reckon that's fucking cool, because these are pretty shit quality videos. So I appreciate anyone who can be fucked tuning into it. Anyway, all right, bye.